This week, I'm going to be talking about Better Than the Movies.
If we were a movie
and
you'd be the right guy. Hannah Montana?
Welcome to Backwards Book Club. We read the books so you don't have to, and if you want to read the book, you at least know what to expect.
If you're like me and you don't have time to read, this is for you.
And if you're like me, I thrive on spoilers, I like trigger warnings, I like to know what's coming.
And if you're like me and everyone's talking about a book and you're not really sure if you want to read it, we'll let you in on what's going on.
And maybe it was lost on me because I'm going to tell you this because Kayla's going to call me an uncultured swine because a lot of the movies they referenced, I have not seen.
Oh, who's to say I've seen them?
Or, I mean, like, Pride and Prejudice. And, like, when Harry met Sally.
Oh, I haven't seen the Harry Met Sally.
And
Do you like Pride and Prejudice?
I love Jane Austen. Which Pride and Prejudice do they talk about? The Keira Knightley one or the old one?
I'm gonna talk to you. I'm so excited. So if like rom-coms are your thing,
I was
go
gonna say,
read this.
it's a lot of rom-coms though.
Yes. It's a story about a girl named Liz. She loves romantic movies. This love for romantic movies started from her mother. She used to watch them together, and then her mom passed away when she was in elementary school. So it was kind of a way to like feel connected to her mom again and to like keep that memory alive. She kind of is like waiting for her like storybook ending.
But also calm down because you're a senior in high school.
Yeah. One day, her childhood crush that she's been in love with her whole life walks down the hallway. And this is a big deal because he moved away shortly after her mom passed. And then he just moved back. And so she's like, oh, this song would be playing if this were a movie. The sign, we're supposed to be together. Start like chatting it up. And while she's like having this conversation, other people come up and like interrupt the conversation. And then, just cruel fate, she doesn't have any classes with him. So she's like, how the heck am I going to
Get him to notice, like, or...
Yes, exactly. And so growing up, there was a group of 6 people in the neighborhood that just hung out all the time. So her name's Liz. Michael, who walks down the hallway and she's like, I've been in love with you my whole life. Her next door neighbor, Wes. Her best friend, Jocelyn. 2 twins who are like, end up in juvenile detention. So when Elizabeth is like, what am I going to do? How am I going to rekindle things with Michael? Oh, I know. I'll ask Wes, who is one of the 6, is her next door neighbor. But her and Wes are like, they're not even friends. Like, they just drive each other nuts. There's a parking spot in front of both of their houses that they like fight over all the time. And it turns into like a prank war. Like if somebody parks there, then they'll like put tape on their windshield or things like that. She's like, I don't want to ask Wes for help, but like what other options do I have? That's a deal with him. Like, hey, if you help me with Michael, you can have the parking spot for the rest of the year. Which is a big deal because they fight about this. And so she's like, I'll give it to you. I'll park down the street. I just need you to like get me an in with Michael because I don't have an in otherwise. She doesn't even have its number. And so Wesley agrees. They go to a party and Elizabeth has been to high school parties before but doesn't ever hang out with this group of people because the 6 of them that all hung out when they were growing up, they all kind of like went their separate ways. Wesley's like this big football player that's like Mr. Popular, and then Jocelyn and Elizabeth stuck together. So she doesn't hang out with these big popular kids. And so this is her first like popular party. And she shows up in a dress because she's like, I'm going to meet Michael. This is our storybook ending. It's a party. I'm going to dress up and look nice. And so when she sees Michael, he thinks she came from work. And so he's like, bummer, you couldn't go home and change. Like, you're
freaking good.
Yeah, exactly. And so she's like, oh yeah, I'm a waitress. Like, she just like plays it off. Which I just thought was so funny that she like tried to look good for him and he was like,
bummer.
Like, this
Not good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so stupid.
So sad. But before Michael gets there, Elizabeth is talking with Wesley, and there's a girl named Ashley that comes up and starts flirting with Wesley, and Elizabeth can tell that Wesley's not super interested, and so Elizabeth is like, hey, he's doing me a solid, I'll do her a solid. So she pulls Ashley to the side and was like, hey, I came here with Wesley. And Ashley's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know it was like that. I'll back off. And Michael comes. They finally are getting able to talk. And they're about to have, like, a really cute sentimental moment because they're, like, catching up. And Elizabeth gets thrown up on by, I think it was by Ashley. And she's like, it stinks. It's all over her favorite dress. Yeah. And so Wesley comes to her rescue and was like, hey, I have a change of clothes in my car. Let's go to the bathroom, go get washed up. He, like, brings her his, like, sweats from after football practice or whatever.
But
so she's like,
clean, right?
I was gonna
I
say,
think-
also
I assume-
Boys are stinky.
Anyway, so she's, like, giving herself this, like, bird bath, throws away her favorite dress because it's, like, ruined. One, Michael made fun of it. Two, it's thrown up on.
I've had Ava throw up on me. That's whatever. If someone else threw up on me, I would either start crying, punch them out,
That's
or scream and like run away.
But obviously she's like, I'm done with this party. Like, I want to go home. And Wesley is like, no questions asked. Like, hey, let's go. Like, let's go home. Like, comes to her rescue.
Aww.
But it's
I think Wesley's gonna die. Liz,
I
Michael's
have no idea.
I'm so excited. Guys, come on. You
So then she goes to her real job. She's not a waitress. She goes to her real job. She works at a bookstore. Wesley comes in. He's like, hey, there's a group of us going to the basketball game. I know things with Michael didn't quite work out. I still want the spot, so I'm still going to be your wingman. You should come with us, but maybe don't wear a dress this time. So when you get off work, we'll go shopping and get you a new outfit.
He is a good
Whoa,
wingman.
Wesley. Obsessed with her much, Wesley?
Wesley
Saying.
really wants a spot.
Yeah. So they go shopping, and he has really good style. Like, he keeps pulling out cute clothes for her. And so she gets a new outfit. She's looking banging. Wesley picks her up. They go meet up with the group to go to the basketball game, and Michael's there, and she's so excited that she's, like, going to spend the whole night with Michael. And then this girl named Lainey shows up. Lainey is, like, her... You know how everyone has the, like, villain in their life? Where it's, like...
Yes. Don't get me started.
Yes.
Would you like to share more?
No. No. Just keep talking.
It's one of us.
This is like my
Oh,
father told me.
shoot.
No. Mm-mm.
She was like kind of a brat in elementary school, and she's always been snotty, and she's on the dance team, and she just thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. And Liz cannot stand her, right? So when Lainey shows up, she's like, oh crap, night ruined. And to top it off, Michael and Lainey are a little bit flirty with each other.
So she throws up on Lainey.
I wish.
She just make herself barf.
That's the whole book. It's just
Ew. But Lainey is on the dance team, and so she goes to like join her dance team during the game. And so Liz is like, okay, this is good. Like, I can hang out with him during the game, during halftime. On the way home, Lainey's getting a ride with someone from her dance group. And so Liz is like, okay, that was a bummer at the start, but like now
it's gonna get better.
it's gonna get better. And so during halftime, the group that she went with, they're like, hey, we don't want to stay and watch the halftime show, which is weird because wouldn't Michael want to watch Lainey dance? But whatever. They go to the practice gym to shoot some basketball. And Liz isn't super athletic, so she just like awkwardly sits there and watches while they're all playing.
Sounds familiar.
But yeah, I would totally do that. Like, you have fun.
And then a basketball would hit me in the face.
Well, that's
Which
what
hurts.
happens.
Which hurts really bad.
That's what happens to Liz.
Liz.
She's having a cute moment with Michael, but it's ruined.
I would straight up cry.
Bloody
That hurts
nose.
so bad.
I'm
was
sure
gonna
she
say,
did.
bloody
cry.
nose.
Ruins her whole new outfit.
Oh my gosh.
Guess who comes to her rescue?
Wesley.
Wesley, yes. And it's like so bad they start calling her Mr. Potato Head or Mrs. Potato Head because it's so swollen. Wesley takes her to the emergency room because he's like, I'm pretty sure it's broken. Like, we should go get it checked out. And there goes her whole night with Michael. She can't hang out with him at the game, can't ride home with him. Like, she's now hanging out with Wesley.
Michael, help us. Help me out.
I know.
Especially if she was talking to Michael, did she get hit and he'd be like, ugh. It's like, walk away.
But when she gets home from the hospital, she gets a text from Michael. And so she's like, like, stars are aligning. This is happening. And he's just like, hey, how's your nose? Are you doing okay? And they were kind of like,
Still, that's nice.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And she's totally like, okay. I haven't ruined my chance because he's like kind of flirty texting with me. And so then she texts Wes and was like, hey, thanks for giving Michael my number. And then they start texting, right? Wesley and Liz are not friends. He like tormented her as a kid. This is like the first time they've like ever texted. After this, she's at work again and Michael walks into her bookstore, right? And he's like, oh, you have 2 jobs? And she's like, well, frick, now I gotta keep this lie up. They talk about books and whatever else. Wes is like, hey, I heard you saw Michael. He said you're actually really funny. And Liz is like, what? He talked about me? Tell me everything he said. Like, every little thing that happens with Michael, like, she reads so much into. Like, she just, like, Michael's her man.
Teenage
right?
girl, yeah.
You couldn't pay me to go back to be a teenage girl. Maybe if I could keep all the knowledge I have now.
Yes.
But, oh, that's just the worst. If a teenage girl is watching this, it gets better. I promise.
100%.
It gets better not with boys.
You
not
get
with dating.
you gain more knowledge. You
Yes.
gain more wisdom.
You know yourself better.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Life just sucks.
It does.
This whole time, it's senior year, and Jocelyn is her best friend, and Jocelyn wants to do all things related to senior year, like the senior prank, getting ready for prom. Liz could care less about. Like, she does not want to go prom dress shopping. She does not want to join in the senior prank. Like,
she
she
doesn't
just
want to go to the prom. That
she
seems like right up her alley.
does,
Okay.
but anything that feels like a milestone in terms of like going to the prom.
It's hard with her mom being.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so
Okay.
like going prom dress shopping is the last thing she wants to do because she would do
That
it with
makes-
her mom,
that
but
makes
now
sense,
she can't. And so it's kind of starting to put like a rift between her and her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that Jocelyn would make fun of her and would not understand this whole scheme that she's trying to like get with Michael. And so the fact that she's like hanging out with Wesley, trying to get with Michael, she doesn't even tell Jocelyn. Michael is having a movie night and invites Liz because Michael heard through the grapevine that Wesley was interested in Liz and Liz was interested in Wesley because remember at the party when Ashley was trying to get with Wesley and Liz like was like, hey, helping her
Of
out.
course, Ashley would be like, "Oh yeah, they're a thing."
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh.
So from the grapevine, Michael's like, oh, you and Wesley, you guys would be cute. So like Wesley, anytime he's hanging out with Michael, is talking Liz up to Michael. Which Michael takes as, oh, you are so into this girl, you have it bad. And so when
Yeah.
Michael's talking to Liz, he's like talking Wesley up. Like, hey, you should date my buddy. But Liz is like, I want to date you, not Wesley. And so,
It's a movie.
no, it's better than the movie.
It's true. This is better.
And so Michael has this movie night and he's texting Liz about it and is like, hey, you should just give Wesley a chance. And Liz is like, he's just my neighbor. Like, I'm not interested. It's not going to happen. So Michael's like, I'm having a movie night. You should come. Bring Wesley. And if you're not interested after the movie night, I won't bring it up. Liz is like, okay, I'll go to this movie. And then afterwards I'll be like, it's not happening with Wesley. And then I can be with Michael. But then she's like going to the movie and wants to be with Michael, but she can't be with Michael because he's trying to like, it's just this like complicated love triangle. And keep in mind, she has to keep it secret from Jocelyn. It's so complicated, right? Before they go to the movie night, Wesley takes Liz out to dinner. And they have the time of their lives. It's not a date, they're just hanging out, but it's like the first time that they've been like spending quality time together. And like she can be completely her authentic self. Like she eats her whole burger before he even like finishes half. And he's like, wow, like you were hungry. She's like, what of it? Can I have your fries? Like, she just does not care. Which is like so refreshing, right?
And good and healthy.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And so then she goes to the movie night and she's sitting next to Wesley on the floor and their legs are touching. And there's a moment when like Liz is sitting there and she's like, wait, like, am I starting to get feelings for Wesley? And they're watching a scary movie and she's like trying to ignore the fact that like her leg and Wesley's leg are touching each other, and she's trying to ignore the fact that he's like sitting so close and she can like hear him breathing, and so she's just like watching this movie so intently. And Wesley's like, you have not blinked once, and this is like a horror film, like you are psychotic. And Liz is like, stop watching me, I'm trying to ignore you. But there's a moment when they like look at each other in the dark, and she's like, is he gonna kiss me? But then they don't kiss, and he like stands up and goes to get a drink or something, and then she's like, dang it, like now Wesley's gone and I want him back, like I want him to sit next to me. And then he like never comes back. He actually goes outside and is with Ashley hanging out the rest of the movie. And I know, so she's just sitting there and she's like, I want to go home, like this is not fun for anyone. After the movie ends, Wesley comes back in, tells Liz, hey, Michael's dad has a whole piano room, you should go play the piano, because Liz likes to play piano, right? Michael takes Liz to this piano room. It's insulated, so it's a little bit quieter, so it's just the two of them hanging out playing this song. And like again, it's like, oh, we might have a cute moment, and then the rest of the group joins except for Wesley. And so she's like, what the heck, where is Wesley? Why do I care? What am I doing? Like, do I have feelings for Michael? Do I have feelings for Wesley? And so she's kind of like, I think I'm feeling Wesley. And so as they're like hanging out, playing the piano, somebody's like, let's order a pizza, and then everybody leaves except for her and Michael, and they start talking about prom. It just like comes up naturally. Liz mentions Lainey to Michael, like, hey, are you gonna take Lainey? And he's like, I don't know, she just broke up with her boyfriend, she's hung up on him, like I don't think we're really gonna be a thing, even though like maybe I thought there would be something. And Liz should be ecstatic, like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna date Lainey, now you can date me. But she's like, that doesn't do it for me. And he's like, plus, like, I always wanted prom to be this, like, special thing, like, going with someone that, like, either you have, like, feelings for or you've known forever. And Liz is like, yeah, like, I always thought that, too. And this whole time, she, like, wanted Michael to ask her to prom.
Because of their old history.
And she's been in love with this guy the whole time. And there's, like, again, like, there's, like, almost a moment. But then, like, they get interrupted because they're like, hey, pizza's here. Like, anytime they're like, something's gonna happen, the universe steps in, and it's like,
And
no.
she's known Wesley for a long time.
Yeah.
And they have way more history.
Wesley is sneaking up on her, right? And so on their way home, it's starting to rain. And unfortunately, they, like, almost hit a car, so they swerve, and then they, like, get in a car accident. It's kind of triggering because Liz's mom died in a car accident. But they're just, like, sitting there talking, hanging out, and out of nowhere, Liz just jumps his bones. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, there's no, like, lead up. She's just, like, he's in the middle of a sentence, and she's, like, just jumps his bones.
Wait, actually jumps actual bones, like as in have sex?
No.
Okay.
I thought that's how I was like, what?
No.
It's like,
Well, this book just took a whole different turn.
No, but they're like hardcore making out. She's like straddling him, and the only reason why they stop is because his dad pulls up.
Yeah. That does it.
And it's like, it's a good kiss, and he is kissing her back, and she is like, this is it. I like Wesley, right? The next day, she goes all day, never hears from him. Not a text, nothing.
That sucks.
Right? Okay, I lied. She doesn't hear from him until like lunch, I think. And all he says is, I like your dress. And she's like, where are you? Like, you saw me? He's like, oh no, I'm just in the library. I saw you walk by, but I gotta go.
Oh, he texts her that.
Yeah, so it's like super quick.
Though.
Who texts? I got to go.
G2G.
Wow. That's cute.
My dad still says that to me because an instant messenger in junior high or whatever, I taught him that. So now, even when I'm 31, he goes, Caleb, G2G. We gotta go.
That's cute.
Oh, so cheesy. We should bring that back.
We just did. In unison. It is back. She's just bummed. Like, all she wants to do is be with Wesley. Like, she has these feelings, but he is ghosting her. Like, she doesn't even know what's happening, right? We're heading outside, and there's like a big group of people just like gathered, and Liz is like, what is going on? And she sees Michael with this. They used to play Boggle like as kids. And so she sees this like life-size Boggle type board that says prom. And Michael is asking Liz to prom. Because when they talked in the piano room, something in the conversation sparked like, I want to go with
feelings
Liz.
for Michael.
Does
From
Wesley
Michael.
know
Yeah.
this, and that's why he's being weird?
I don't know if he knew prior. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But she's like, in front of everyone, the whole school, this whole big promposal, like, everyone's expecting her to say yes. Everyone's there, and she's like shocked. This is what she wanted from the very beginning, is to go to prom with Michael. But now she has feelings for Wesley. She made out with Wesley the night before.
And what does it tell Wesley? If she says yes with Michael,
Right.
she's telling Wesley, yeah, that was great, but
It's complicated.
that's hard.
She doesn't know what to do. And so she looks out into the crowd and sees Wesley, and they make eye contact, and he like gives her like an encouraging like thumbs up kind of thing.
All
And
right.
he's with Ashley. Puts
Oh.
his arm around Ashley. So Liz is like, what the hell? We had a moment last night. I guess it meant nothing to you.
Yeah.
And she's the one that like made the move on him. And so she was like, is he even interested in me, or is he just a horny guy that wants to get some action? And so she's like, okay, I'll go with Michael.
Here's the thing. It's just prom.
Yeah, it's not marriage.
Yeah. I never went to prom.
Me either.
Me either.
Never, did you go to any dances?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I went to homecoming.
You went to prom.
I went with my high school boyfriend, and then senior year I went with a really good friend. That was a good one.
My high school boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh. I'm like flipping her off. You're like,
You're amazing.
Debbie Downer over here. Okay, so Liz is going with Michael. Wesley's going with Ashley. The fact that Liz is going with Michael to prom causes an even bigger rift with Jocelyn and Liz, because Jocelyn and Liz were supposed to just go stag. That was the whole plan. They finally went dress shopping together. They find the perfect dress. They're talking together about it. And then in this like big promposal, everything comes out where Jocelyn's like, what the heck? Like, you've been hanging out with Michael and Wesley. Like, I thought you were kind of flirty with Wesley. Like, you don't have feelings for him. You have feelings, like, everything.
Like, what's going on? With
Yeah,
you?
and like big fight. They're not talking anymore. She does end up finding a date though.
Okay.
But it's with somebody that wears a jean suit.
About right.
They got
Nice.
on Amazon. And so she's like, that was not even worth it. So they go to prom. The whole time she's like, I want to be with Wesley. He wants to be with Lainey. It's clear that he has feelings for her. He obviously just asked me as a friend. And they go to this restaurant, and Lainey's with her group of friends at the same restaurant. And so even at the restaurant, Liz is like, I can just tell that, like, you want to be with Lainey. Like, why are you here with me? Like, you didn't have to ask me out. Even this is what I wanted. But, like, she's realized, like, I don't have feelings for him, right? I have feelings for Wesley, but I can't have Wesley. And so she goes to the bathroom because she's feeling all sorts of emotional about it. And she runs into Lainey in the bathroom. Now, remember, Lainey's, like, the villain of her story. And so when she's, like, emotional in the bathroom, that's the last person she wanted to see.
It's true.
But Lainey is like so sweet and empathetic. Like, hey, are you feeling emotional because of your mom? Like, I can imagine prom would be hard without your mom. And Liz feels very like validated because Jocelyn, her best friend, never like understood why she didn't want to do these like senior type things. And so Liz is like, is everything I know about Lainey wrong? Like, is Lainey better than I think? And so then when they're like talking in the bathroom and they have this like friendship moment, Liz is like, hey, Michael thinks that you're not over your ex-boyfriend. If that's true, then great. But if that's not true, you better have a conversation with Michael, because he only asked me because he didn't think you were available. And so she like is kind of like roles reversed, and she like is a wing woman for Michael. And so then when they're at prom, they like get to the dance. Michael and Lainey are all coupley together, even though Liz came with Michael. But like Liz was like, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
Like, I should have come with Jocelyn. I messed up.
Did Lainey
Lainey
come
have a
stag?
date?
Did
Yeah.
Lainey have a date?
Yeah, she just went with her friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And so while they're dating and Wesley's having this moment with Ashley and they're like slow dancing on the dance floor, and like things are awkward with Wesley and Liz, obviously. And so Liz just like bows out and is like, I'm just gonna go like chill and wait until the dance is over. They're at like a convention center, so she goes like clear to the other side of the convention center and she runs into Jocelyn. And so they're finally able to air everything out. Liz is able to like communicate that all of these have been really hard for me because of my mom, because of Helena, her stepmom, because of Michael, because of Wesley. Jocelyn's like, well, I'm sorry I haven't been super understanding, but also like, you should have told me this. Like,
We should have this conversation.
Right? And while they're like talking, hanging out, Noah, who's like a friend of Wesley's that actually called her Mrs. Potato Head, comes out and like joins them, and they just hang out and have the time of their lives. Jocelyn and Noah start flirting. And so they're like, okay, we're leaving. Jocelyn had driven herself. She's ditching her Levi suit date. It was like, find your own way home.
This poor kid.
I know, I couldn't do that.
I wanted a nice suit.
A nice
Maybe
suit.
that's all I could afford.
$35.
Maybe that's what he
I wanted to make a statement.
But he wears.
What if that's all he could afford?
What's his name? I
He
really want to
wears-
know his name.
I could look it
I
up.
feel like it's
He
like,
wears a suit every day though, because he wants to look classy. Like he has other suits.
Well, you didn't say that part
I know.
before I made my comment about maybe that's all I could afford.
I know, because I really is important.
I want this kid to be the main character.
Oh my god,
See,
so much to
talk
say
about
Levi's saying he wears a suit every day. That was an important
Oh,
detail.
that's so cute.
Charlie.
Aww.
Your book's
Not
coming, Charlie.
Okay, so prom is ending. There's like an after prom party, which my school didn't do. Did your guys'?
The school put on?
Yeah.
Like our friends would go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, the way I read it, I thought it was like the school was putting it on. And so Noah, Jocelyn, and Liz are like, prom's lame. We all came with the wrong people. Let's just ditch this. And while they're going home and like Noah and Jocelyn are like starting to flirt, both of them are like, maybe we should go to the after prom party. Because like they want the night to keep going. But Liz is like, nope, take me home. I'm done. She goes home. She's watching a rom-com. Her stepmom, who like things have kind of been tense with her and her stepmom because she's not her mom. She's never going to be her mom. Anything that like these big moments that she would do with her mom, her stepmom's there, but like she doesn't want her stepmom to take her place, and so it's like just awkward. But in this time she's like matured, and so she's like realized that she's never going to take her mom's place, and without Helena her dad would be alone, and so she like has this newfound gratitude for Helena, and so they're able to like communicate and apologize and like clear the air on all of that and like become closer. And they're watching this rom-com, and they're actually watching When Harry Met Sally, which this is the part where they were like, this is lost on me, but it was like a cute sentimental moment where they like agree on some things but disagree on some things, and so they come closer. And I'm reading this and I'm like, good for you. I don't know what any of this means, so you'll have to, when you read it, you'll have to let me know.
I've never seen Harry Met Sally.
Oh.
I only
When
know
you
that.
read it-
I've only seen it once.
You've only met Harry once.
I've only met Harry once.
I only know the part where
She's
in the
making
diner.
orgasm sounds, and
Yeah.
the lady's like, "I'll have what she's having." That's
Yeah.
like a famous line.
So in this conversation, Liz tells Helena all about the train wreck that is Michael. Like anytime they got close, universe would step in, and like she got thrown up on, she got a ball in her face, like the universe was against her, but like Wesley was always there for her, right? And so Helena's like, he's loved you his whole life. And Liz is like, no. He tormented me my whole life. But Helena's like, no, like
So
this
always
happened, and had all of these like cute moments as kids that Helena could see because she was like
Yeah.
outside looking in.
Mhm.
And you come to find out that there's enough room on the driveway for Wesley to park on the driveway. He only started parking in the like coveted spot to mess with Liz, to get opportunities to hang out. And Helena like knew this the whole time. And Liz was like, no, that's not true. He was just being a jackass. And Helena's like, no, that's not true. Like he was flirting with you kind of thing.
Kind of opens her eyes.
Yeah, and so Helena's like, you just gotta be big, you gotta be brave. Like, if you want it, you gotta go for it. Like, stop waiting for a like moment to happen. Make a moment happen. And so Liz again, she loves music. Anything she does, she's like, oh, this song would be playing. That's actually what she wants to do when she grows up, is like,
Put music in the background of movies.
yeah, whatever that's called.
Compose? Like be a composer?
No. Like, you know,
Just
in
pick
Pitch
songs.
Perfect, when Anna, whatever her character's name is, wants to score.
Uh-huh. Like a
Oh, no,
kinda
Anna
like
doesn't want to do
produce.
that. No.
Like
What's his name?
Producer.
Like in different movie, but in The Holiday, have you seen that one? How the character Jack Black, he like is watching this movie and he's playing the piano,
That's a composer to me, though.
but he's like adding the music into the movie.
Uh-huh.
I guess is kind of
But she's not making the music. She's choosing the music for the movies.
already made.
I actually wanted that job as well when I was
Really?
in college. I was like, is that a job? Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, because Pitch Perfect.
And I looked it up, and usually the director and higher up people just pick the songs.
Oh.
But yeah, I wanted it to be a real thing.
And so she has this like whole Wesley and Liz playlist that she like burns onto a CD. Which like burnt CDs, I was like, is that still a thing? Do kids today know what burnt
I
CDs
do not
are?
think they
For
do.
her though. That's the
But
sweetest
Maybe this is an old book.
I wonder if she learned it from a movie.
Do you want to
Maybe.
know? I did that when Adam and I were dating. And he got up really early for work. And so I got up even earlier and drove to his house and put it on his car.
Cute. Did he not see it? And
He didn't see it. And driving down the freeway, he just sees. And now being married to him for 9 years, I'm like, yeah, you would do that. That's very on brand for you.
But she burns him the CD and she puts like one of those like album cover whatever on it.
Mhm.
What's that called?
Album cover.
There's a but like on the actual CD.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's on the actual CD. Anyway, she makes this album cover and it's W plus L in a heart, but it's made out of like a ketchup because before they went to the movie night, they went and got burgers and they were drawing with like the ketchup. So it's like a cute moment.
Cute.
And so she puts it on his doorstep with like a sticky note, like come to our special spot. Because as kids, behind his house, he has this like forest area and that's where they would like go hang out as kids. And like as they were like hanging out, like starting to text, there's one time where she was like, how are you still awake? Where are you? And he goes, I'm in the secret spot. Come join me. She goes and he's like turned it into this whole like there's a fire pit and there's like a waterfall and he like made it like this like really pretty. And so she's waiting there. She starts a fire. She has a boombox ready to play the playlist. She has like s'mores ready and she's waiting for him. It takes forever to come. She like falls asleep and she like wakes up because she hears the car door slam. She's super nervous and then she hears the second door slam. He's not alone!
Why would he bring someone?
He was on a date. He's at prom.
Oh.
She did all that in one night.
So he didn't see the CD yet?
No. And so they start going to the secret place and Liz is like, fuck, like, I gotta hide the, like, marshmallow, I gotta hide the evidence, I have this boombox, and so she, like, trips and just, like, tries to hide in the bush. And Wesley obviously sees her, like, what are you doing? And she's like, I lost a penny.
Oh, poor girl.
And he's like, a penny? And she's like, yeah, it's a really special penny. I didn't know it was so important to me until I didn't have it anymore, and now I want it. I couldn't find it. Just, like, freaks out and runs away. And obviously she's, like, heartbroken that he just showed up with Ashley.
To their secret spot. his
Yeah,
secret
and
spot.
this was, like, a huge grand gesture for her. She just, like, goes for a drive and is just, like,
Oh.
bawling, listening to music, like, I hate men kind of thing. She goes to, like, McDonald's and gets, like, a McFlurry and fries. She goes back to her place and parks and is just, like, eating fries in her car. And Wesley knocks on the window, freaks her out. She drops the milkshake all down her front. Oh, girl. I know.
Their outfit ruined.
But she was wearing his hoodie because you remember he let her borrow, so she like ruined his hoodie, and she's like, leave me alone, I just got home or something. He's like, bullshit, you've been sitting here for like 10 minutes. And she's like, why are you watching me? And he's like, I've been waiting for you to come home this whole time. She's like, why have you been waiting for me? And he's like, I'm the penny, aren't I? And she's like, what are you talking about? And she
calls her out on it.
yeah, and he's like, I love telling you about this.
This is definitely better than a movie.
That's not a cute line though.
Yeah, and so
Penny, oh.
then obviously they are able to like, hey, I like you, you like me, why were you with Ashley? He's like, it's a friend, we were on a date.
You were with Michael.
Yeah, like, there's nothing with Ashley. They kiss, they are together, and then they go away to college together, and it's just this perfect little bow. And that's the end.
That's the sweetest thing ever.